Hi, I'm Michael Victor Ruggiero, landscape architect and arborist. This video is part of a series that focuses on plants that are resistant to deer problems. Most of the footage will be from coastal and beach communities. These communities mostly have sand-based soils. And for most plants, if they can take sand-based soils, they can also thrive in richer loam soils found in inland areas. So the information in the videos will be relevant for the entire metropolitan region as well as all states along the Northeast Seaboard. This episode on resistant shrubs begins with those that establish naturally on coastal dunes to hold them together. Because of their great abundance in natural dune landscapes, these shrubs are not eaten by deer in home gardens nearby such natural preserves. It takes the salt spray and is kept in check. The size is kept in check by the salt, which you'll see in a second. First is the native American Beach Plum, dominant on primary frontline dunes because of its great tolerance to sand and salt. Reduced in height there by ocean salt spray, they still shield plants further inland from it, which allows more species to live in tough dune environments. For oceanfront properties, beach plum can provide the same protective function by sheltering interior land area and more sensitive garden plants. Its own spring flowers dazzle, as can fall fruit. Shear it for a refined, tight appearance or for screening. Salt spray will help. On northeast shores, beach plum often grows tangled with salt spray rose. Not a native, but has four-season appeal and is low maintenance. The species is invasive, but hybrids of it are not and are increasingly valuable for ocean property stabilization. When unprotected, don't be surprised if deer eat the handsome flowers and abundant fruit. The spice-scented native northern bayberry is prominent in dune shrub thickets, and like others there, is a chameleon in size. Long cultivated, it is used routinely for residential and commercial landscapes across much of the U.S. Even when established, it is sensitive to grade changes and soil moisture. Another long cultivated native, valued commercially, is high bush blueberry, adaptable to dry and wet soils. Because of plant abundance, island deer generally leave it alone. Here the owner clips into a tight, dense form, not expecting a harvest of blueberries. The last staple of sand dune landscapes presented is the noble native groundcover bearberry, which really does love both sun and dry sand. Be patient in its establishment and your patience will pay off with intact sand after storms. First in this part on resistant summer season shrubs are non-native shrubs that can be invasive and whose invasiveness is ranked by state and local agencies. Ranks shown are specific to Long Island. Read up on less aggressive relatives of each and always plant cautiously in small numbers. The first is Scotch broom, highly adapted to seaside sand and salt. In May, it puts on a flush of exuberant colors, yellow the most common. Not reliably hardy inland, broom is often treated there more like a perennial. Similar in hardiness is butterfly bush, but it blooms in late summer in a host of colors. To hedge against invasiveness, there are new dwarf and sterile selections. The latest is that its nectar undernourishes butterflies. Bad for butterflies who indulge on it, so don't overplant it or let it spread. Next is the border privet. Overplanted practically everywhere, mainly for privacy hedges, terribly invasive in parts of the country and often heavily browsed. Included because deer leave it alone in much of the study area of Fire Island. Select non-invasive alternative species in or outside the fence and prune annually to prevent fruiting. One with a long bloom period is the lilac chase tree. As beautiful as this exotic shrub is, it is known to spread too. This common lilac one is tender in northern zone, but hardier species are becoming available. The species most invasive is the beach vitex, Vitex rotundifolia. Winding down the invasive alarm are the red and gold Japanese barberries, first shown in episode 1 on accent foliage plants. Its parent species, Berberis unbergi, is highly invasive, but these color varieties are apparently less so or not at all. Shown are its variation in size, form, and shades of red. Deer hardly ever touch it or the plant next to it here. Adam's needle is a woody shrub too, though it doesn't look like one. Its tall spiked blooms are effective for a long time in summer. Finally, a common shrub that needs to be mentioned among seaside, salt-tolerant shrubs with prolific late summer blooms is Rose of Sharon, sometimes browsed for a wide, dense screen, protected until it grows above browsing height. The last of episode shrubs are two natives of merit, which often go unnoticed. First is the swamp azalea. Rhododendron viscosum. Make sure you smell it. It's a fragrant native plant. Gets about 12 feet high, and this just comes in on its own. The final one is this low summer bloomer, good as a facer shrub, that needs identification. I'm hoping that some in the audience can chime in to give it a name in the YouTube comment box. This is Michael Victor. Please join me for the next episode covering ferns and ground covers. Again, thanks for listening.